What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. It is Sunday, December 10th, 2017. This is breaking news right here on Off the Script Extra. If you guys are awaiting part 3 of Off the Script, episode 199, I will bring that to you guys tomorrow afternoon. So you're going to have a double upload tomorrow afternoon. Off the Script part 3 for 199, and then we have Monday Night Raw review tomorrow night. So look forward to that. I have just enough time in my day to get you guys this story, and I want to get you guys this story. I wish it was a little bit more on a positive note, but it is not, and it's breaking news, but breaking news nonetheless. If you guys woke up this morning and you were carousing around on social media, you will have seen that WWE has indeed suspended Rich Swann indefinitely. No more Rich Swann on WWE television until everything comes out into the open and facts are brought to the table about what happened to him last night. In the early hours while we were sleeping, Rich Swann was arrested on domestic violence allegations and imprisonment charges against his wife, Sue Young, Vernara Riggs. The name might sound familiar. I mentioned it here and there on Off the Script, and I've been seeing it all week. Sue Young. Sue Young is actually going to be at House of Glory this Saturday. I'm going to be calling her match with Sonya Strong, one of the main matches on Saturday's card at House of Glory 7. I read the article and I gave one of those holy shit looks. Like, I couldn't believe what I was reading. You know, and it's a sad situation that we have to be talking about this. I'm going to give you my opinion on this entire thing, what I think is going to happen to Rich Swann. I'm going to go over the notes in the police report. I'm going to give you my thoughts on who I think is going to go one-on-one with Drew Gulak tomorrow night, because it was supposed to be Rich Swann, to find out who is the new number 1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. We're going to go over all that today right here on Off the Script. Domestic violence is one of the things that I just don't like talking about because I hate it so very much, man. Once I see a man charged with domestic violence in any situation, my respect for you goes out the window. It really does. And that goes for anybody. And there's been some big names in WWE that have been linked to domestic violence charges. Stone Cold Steve Austin with Deborah. I believe Goldust, a.k.a. Dustin Runnels, was linked to domestic violence against Marlena when they were together. You know, the list goes on and on. Those are just two more of the more notable names. I hate it. My respect for you goes out the window. In no situation should you put your hands on a female, a defenseless female. In no situation should you even attempt, not even attempt, that there should be no reason at all that you even conceive a thought about harming a female in any way, putting your hands on a female in any way. Things could be worked out, you know, without resorting to violence against your partner. You want to go take your anger out on something? Go to the fucking gym and punch a punching bag. You know, go to the gun range and shoot fucking targets that are not moving. You know, do something. You know, go punch a wall somewhere. Go play Call of Duty and get your rage out on some fucking camper camping on Gustav Cannon. You know, give me a break. It's ridiculous. My respect for you goes out the window as soon as I hear any domestic violence charges being brought up with your name attached to that. I hate it. I have never, ever in my entire life ever thought about striking a female. I've known people and I've seen people in my personal life linked to domestic violence charges. You know, I got personal shit that I've seen in my family linked to domestic violence charges. None of which I will discuss here because it's nobody's business. But I lose respect ultimately for that individual when linked to such a pathetic act. Now, I've lost respect for Rich Swann just based on everything that I've read today. And I'm going to go over the article. I'm going to go over what happened. I'm going to go over the notes in the police report. I'm going to go over what I think is going to happen on Monday Night Raw. But the simple fact that we're talking about this is pathetic. It really is. I thought better of Rich Swann, especially after the beautiful package and the beautiful story that he told, you know, when he was debuting in the Cruiserweight Classic. We've seen Rich Swann in NXT before that, but that was his real breakout moment when he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, going over his family situation, the fact that his mother and his father aren't with us any longer, and that was his story going into the Cruiserweight Classic. Rich Swann, obviously one of the more talented performers in the entire company. You know, one of my favorites, definitely on 205 Live. and in the cruiserweight division. But the fact that he was charged with this, I ultimately lost a lot of respect for the man. Now, WWE has indefinitely suspended Rich Swann without pay. Right now, at this moment, 3:30 in the afternoon, that is the absolute best decision for WWE to do right now until all facts are brought to the table. When Rich Swann, if indeed found guilty, then you take the next step, which will probably be and ultimately be termination. And at that point, I will agree with the company. At that point, I will definitely agree with their decision to terminate Rich Swann. The one thing that I'm thinking about before I even read the article, and I seen the headline, Rich Swann arrested for domestic violence. Was there alcohol involved? Apparently, according to the notes, there was no alcohol involved. My next thought was, how stupid can somebody be? You are in the public spotlight. No matter how little you are or what brand you're working for, you are still in the public spotlight. You are a social media figure. You are working for the biggest pro wrestling company in the world. You represent WWE. I don't understand why Rich Swann let it escalate to this point without thinking where he worked, without thinking of the consequences, without thinking of the image that he is representing for the WWE. Now his image is tarnished. So WWE is going to take the proper steps to respect, all parties involved, and they're going to take steps to ensure that their image, they are priority. I don't understand why he let it escalate to this. But then again, we don't know what caused all of this. We don't know if his wife did something that is not being reported. We don't know all the facts. So we're going to let this play out the way it has to play out. This may end up being nothing. Charges may be dropped. We don't know. But right now, the ultimate decision is for him to be suspended, and that is the best decision right now for the WWE until all facts are brought to the table. But those are the things that I immediately thought. Why would he do such ridiculous acts knowing where he worked and knowing that the consequences will be swift and they will be brutal? And then alcohol, the other thing. Alcohol was not involved. But Rich Swann was arrested early this morning. Zero tolerance does WWE have for domestic violence situations. Swann, real name Richard Allen Swann, suspended indefinitely after news of his arrest circulated on social media. Swann was held without bail in the wake of being arrested on Saturday night, early Sunday morning, December 9, after the WWE wrestler was charged with battery and false imprisonment. According to Gainesville police, Rich Swann was engaged in an argument with his wife, Venara Riggs, who wrestles under the name of Su Yung on the independent circuit. Swann is a WWE superstar who reportedly got into an altercation with Riggs, who has been his wife since March. I believe they've been together for almost 5 years. Su Yung had reportedly finished wrestling at a promotion down south, and Swann was giving her feedback after her show. According to Swann's arrest report by Gainesville police, Venara feared that her husband would get violent with her as they argued, so she jumped out of the slowly moving car in order to escape. However, Rich Swann allegedly screamed at his wife and chased after her to get her back into the car. Swann allegedly put his wife in a chokehold and dragged her back into the car, according to witness reports. Riggs next banged on the window of the car and screamed for others to help her get out of the dangerous situation, according to those who witnessed the altercation. With Swann being charged with false imprisonment via an alleged kidnapping of his wife after allegedly dragging her back into the car, along with the domestic violence charges, it is expected that WWE will change Swann's indefinite suspension to immediate termination if Swann is convicted of all charges. According to Swann's account of the incident, he never touched his wife, which flies in the face of witness reports and Young's allegation claiming that he dragged his wife back to the car. Swann admitted that he wanted his wife to get back in the car, but claimed he only wanted her back in the vehicle because Young's cell phone held the necessary GPS information that required to make it to their next destination. And that was the end of the article. Now, according to the Gainesville police report, which you can see this on the Gainesville police Twitter account, at Gainesville PD on Twitter. They released the police report. Now, they state in the police report, on the above date and time, at the above location, the victim and the defendant were engaged in an argument. Both the victim and the defendant are professional wrestlers, and the victim had just put on a show at a downtown Gainesville arena. The defendant was critiquing the victim's performance and began getting angry with her. The victim got scared that the argument was going to escalate and got out of the car in the area of 2400 Southeast Hawthorne Road. The defendant stopped the vehicle in the middle of traffic and the victim jumped out. The defendant gave chase and yelled for her to get back into the car. The victim told the defendant she did not want to get back in the car as she continued to walk away. The defendant then grabbed the victim by her arm and then around her neck with his arm. He placed her in a headlock and dragged her back into their vehicle. The victim screamed for help as the defendant pushed her into the car. Witness 1 observed this happen and called LEA. Witness 1 said that she saw the defendant chase after the victim and put her in a headlock and shove her in the car while she screamed for help. Witness 1 also said that the victim was beating on the window, screaming for help as they drove away again. Witness 1 said that the victim seemed very afraid of the defendant and was trying to get away from him. Witness 2 observed the vehicle driven by the defendant driving erratically in the area of 1500 East University Avenue. Witness 2 saw the victim jump out of the vehicle while it was moving and ran away. Witness 2 saw the defendant get out of the car while it was still moving and chased after the victim. The car was not in park and continued to roll until it hit a telephone pole on the corner of Northeast 15th Street and East University Avenue. The victim stated that she was afraid of the defendant because he has a temper tantrum sometimes. She said that she was trying to get away from him because she was scared that their argument would escalate into physical violence. The victim said that the defendant grabbed her by the arm and pulled her back into the car even though she did not want to go with him. The victim said she told the defendant to pull over so she could get out of the car, but he refused to do so, and she ended up jumping out while the vehicle was still slowly moving. The victim and defendant have been in a relationship for approximately 5 years and have been married for 9 months. That is according to the police report on the Gainesville PD Twitter account. So you have two witnesses in this entire thing that stated the same thing as Rich Swann's wife. WWE made the right decision right now to suspend him indefinitely. But with two eyewitnesses going along with what his wife already stated to the police, Rich Swann is not looking too good right now. He's not looking too good right now. The excuse and the story and the report that he gave about the GPS and the fact that he wanted her to get back into the car because her phone had the proper GPS information that they needed to get back to their next destination. You know, it ain't looking too good right now when you got two eyewitnesses who seen the same thing, both said the same thing, and matched up with what his wife said. So if Rich Swann is found guilty of all of this, not only is he an idiot, not only did he fuck up his WWE career, but he will be terminated from a nice cozy spot on WWE television. That in itself is the biggest mistake you could have possibly ever done. Why would you let this escalate to a point where you're not only going to put your wife unnecessarily in danger and hit your wife for no reason at all? Over what? Critiquing her wrestling match? Now, we don't know what was stated. We don't know if there was a verbal argument. We don't know what was said on her behalf, you know? But the fact that he brought it to this point over critiquing her wrestling match is absolutely ridiculous. So it results in domestic violence because you didn't like what you seen from her performance instead of going about it in a respectful way? Now, we don't know what was said, but that's just ludicrous. If that what was told, that is ridiculous. Rich Swann is to blame, and when all of this comes to light and he's charged as guilty, he will have nobody to blame but himself. And he will use this as a lesson learned, a hard lesson learned, not to do this again. Now, we don't know what type of person Rich Swann is. If you've done this now, right? If you are capable of doing this, this is the fucked up thing. If you're capable of doing this, you know, who's to say he has not done this in the past? If you've done this once, I'm sure you've done it before. Or if you've done it once now, there's going to be an instance where it's going to come up again. Because if you hit a woman once, you know, who's to say you're not going to do it again? The likelihood of it happening again is very high. That's ridiculous. Rich Swann unnecessarily put his wife in danger, and he unnecessarily probably ruined his career with WWE. I would not blame WWE if they terminated Rich Swann. Right now, he's sitting pretty at being suspended. But if he's found guilty, which right now ain't looking good, it ain't looking good. If I was WWE, I'd terminate him as soon as that is guilty, which it looks like it might be. Who knows? We might have charges being dropped. She might drop the charges against him just for the sake that she loves him. Whatever reason, you know? But if Rich Swann is found guilty, if I was WWE, I would terminate him immediately. Now, come to Monday Night Raw. What happens on Monday Night Raw? He won his Fatal 4-Way match. Drew Gulak won his Fatal 4-Way match. They were supposed to meet tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. Well, if I'm WWE, I don't know how they go about it. I don't know what they discuss on air on Monday Night Raw. I'm not sure that I don't think they're gonna bring this to light. I mean, they'll just say Rich Swann is whatever. But if I was WWE, I would give the role to Cedric Alexander. I would give Cedric Alexander the rub. I would put him in the match with Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak was the one who fucked over Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander rather, in that match on Monday. Cedric Alexander hit the lumbar check. Drew Gulak took advantage, and I would put them in a match one-on-one. I mean, it ties in nicely and perfectly with the story. Cedric Alexander feels screwed, and I would have him, and I would grant him the opportunity. He was the one who was going to win the match until Drew Gulak, did the slimy heel thing and pinned Ariya Daivari. Or was it, who the fuck was it? Was it Ariya Daivari? I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure who it was. But regardless of that, the lumbar check was executed and Drew Gulak got the pin. So I would give it to Cedric Alexander just based on the fact that he was the one who was probably going to win that match before Drew Gulak got involved. So I would make that the number one contender match on Monday Night Raw while Rich Swann is dealing with this personal issue of domestic violence and imprisonment charges that he's being accused for. This is a sad situation, man. In no way do I condone hitting a female. Please, if you're out there and you're in a relationship, please honor your fucking partner. Please respect your partner. Please love your partner. In no way would I ever strike a female or somebody that I'm with at all, no matter how heated the argument gets. There's always a way to talk it out. It is never too serious where it has to get to a point that Rich Swann took it to. Choking his wife, dragging his wife into the car, holding her against her will, imprisonment charges. Don't ever, ever, ever put your hand on a female. Honor her and respect her, please. This is bullshit. I hate hearing this. I hate seeing this, especially with somebody as talented as Rich Swann. For what? He ultimately threw his WWE career away for what? For what? An argument over critiquing his wife's wrestling match. I am the one who's going to critique his wife's wrestling match on Saturday night. I'll come here and tell you if she was good or not. I never heard of Su Yung. I never seen Su Yung before, but the fact that he was critiquing his wife's wrestling match and it escalated into a chokehold and dragging her back to the car against her will? Come on, man. Absolutely ridiculous and unnecessary behavior from Rich Swann. That's all I got for you guys, man. That is the news. If I hear anything else regarding this situation, if I hear anything else regarding Rich Swann and the fact that he's charged innocent or guilty in this, if he gets terminated ultimately by the WWE, which I hope is not the case. I hope it's not the case. But if he is found guilty, which looks like with the two eyewitness accounts, he don't look to be sitting too good right now. He has a very, very good chance of getting terminated from the WWE. But right now, the right decision is they suspended him indefinitely without pay, and they're going to let all the information come to light before they make an ultimate decision. But I hope it is not the one that ultimately gets him released from the WWE. So let me know what you guys think about this story. That is Off the Script Extra. Like I said, I have a lot to do today. That's the reason the hoodie's on. I'm going to upload this, and I'm going to get the hell out of here. I will bring you guys a full-fledged Off the Script episode 199, part number 3 for you guys tomorrow. We got major news. I got so much news on Woken Matt Hardy, the creative direction behind it, what Vince McMahon thinks about it, how it's going to fare on WWE television. I got all that news for you tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune in to Off the Script tomorrow around lunchtime. Also, if you guys missed part 1, we talk about why Roman Reigns is not the best wrestler in the entire world. He stated that on his new show with Corey Graves. So make sure you guys go and check out part 1. Part 2, we talk about Daniel Bryan and WWE's potential plans to clear him before SummerSlam 2018. So that is live on the channel right now. So if you guys missed any of that, it is live. Go and check it out for sure. Over 2 hours of quality podcast content there from Off the Script and JD. I got more Call of Duty stuff coming up as well. I got more Fortnite stuff coming up. I got more streams coming up. Obviously, next week, we're going to have a whole new week of content. Raw, SmackDown, NXT is on USA Network this Wednesday at 7 p.m. We'll be watching that. We'll be reviewing that. Aleister Black versus Adam Cole. Lots of cool stuff coming up, so make sure you guys go and check that out. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below for more great WWE news when it breaks, just like this story. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Off the Script. And I will see you guys tomorrow as well for Monday Night Raw. I'm JD. Enjoy your Sundays. Please honor, respect, and love your partner, your girlfriend, your wife, whomever you are seeing. Don't ever, 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 ever do what Rich Swann did, man. It's not cool, and it's just unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary, man. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content right here on the channel. I'll talk to you guys later.